The one fish to never eat after 60. All right, let's set the scene. You're at the grocery store, right? You're feeling pretty good about yourself today. You've bypassed the tempting siren call of the butcher's counter. You've given a wide berth to the processed food aisle, and you've landed squarely in the seafood section. Good for you. You're thinking, healthy choices, that's me. And then your eyes land on it. That familiar, pristine white fillet, perhaps even marked with a tempting on-sale sticker. You think, perfect. Heart-healthy, lean protein, exactly what the doctor ordered. You toss it into your cart, a little mental pat on the back for making such a smart decision. But hold on. Stop right there. What if I told you that single, seemingly innocent, healthy choice, eaten just once a week, mind you, could actually drive your risk of a stroke up by a staggering 44%? Yes, you heard that right. 44%. It sounds unbelievable, almost like a trick, doesn't it? But it's true. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on exactly which fish is the silent culprit behind that shocking statistic. We'll dive deep into why it becomes especially dangerous once you hit that golden age of 60, when your body starts playing by a slightly different set of rules. And because I'm not here to just deliver bad news, we'll also uncover 3 safer, absolutely delicious swaps that can dramatically cut your stroke risk, by almost a third, in fact. So, stay with me. Seriously, don't navigate away, because what you learn in the next few minutes, and the choices you make for your next meal, could very well decide what your next decade looks like. Your brain, your heart, your independence, and they're all on the line, and frankly, they're worth protecting. The hidden danger. Nobody labels. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of why that seemingly innocent piece of fish can be such a problem, especially as we age. Think of your body like a finely tuned machine, and your kidneys. They're the super efficient filters, constantly cleaning out the gunk. But here's the thing. After 60, those filters don't work quite as briskly as they used to. In fact, your kidneys filter about 20% slower than they did when you were a spry 40-year-old. 20%. That's a significant slowdown. What does that mean for you? Well, it means that toxins, those unwelcome guests in your bloodstream, have a much longer party in your system. They linger, they roam, and while they're hanging around, they're quietly, insidiously scarring your arteries. We're talking about things like mercury, which, yes, is present in varying degrees in almost all fish. We're talking about sodium, that sneaky flavor enhancer that can wreak havoc on your blood pressure. And crucially, we're talking about inflammatory oxidized fats, the kind that get created when certain oils are heated to extreme temperatures. When these elements hang around longer due to slower clearance, they don't just sit there. They actively contribute to the hardening and narrowing of your arteries, a process called atherosclerosis, which is a direct pathway to stroke. Now here's where it gets really tricky. The fish we're focusing on today, the one that's causing all this fuss, often sounds innocent. It's lean, it's white, it's incredibly popular. It's the kind of fish that people assume is the epitome of healthy eating. We're not talking about the obvious culprits you might already be wary of, like that occasional sushi tuna that might carry a mercury warning, or the grilled salmon you know is packed with good fats. No. Today we're talking about the everyday menu staple, the one your grandkids probably love in their fish sticks, the one you see at every fast food drive-thru, the one your doctor, bless their heart, probably never even thought to warn you about because it's just so common. It is this combination of perceived healthiness and actual hidden danger that makes it a true stealth threat to your cardiovascular system after 60. The 44% study that should have made headlines. So, where does this alarming 44% figure come from? It's not just some scare tactic. It's rooted in some serious science. Picture this. A team of dedicated researchers at Emory University embarked on an extensive 12-year-long journey, meticulously tracking the health outcomes of 11,000 seniors. 11,000 individuals for over a decade. That's a massive amount of data, providing incredibly robust insights into real-world health trends. What they discovered was a bombshell, a finding that, frankly, should have dominated health news cycles and been shouted from the rooftops. Participants in this study who indulged in fried fish or fish sandwiches more than once a week exhibited a startling 44% jump in their risk of ischemic stroke. Let that sink in. Nearly a 50% increase in stroke risk simply from a seemingly benign weekly meal. Now here's the crucial nuance, and it's where many people get confused. The culprit wasn't the fish itself. Let me repeat that. The fish, in its natural state, wasn't the villain here. The real perpetrators were the usual suspects of unhealthy cooking: the breading, the fry oil, and the insidious sodium bath these fish often endure. Every single golden brown, crispy bite delivered a devastating triple hit to the cardiovascular system. First, you've got the trans fats. These are the absolute worst kind of fats for your heart, often found in the partially hydrogenated oils used for deep frying. They don't just add calories, they actively stiffen your arteries, making them less flexible and more prone to damage. Think of your arteries as flexible garden hoses. Trans fats turn them into rigid, brittle pipes. Second, the refined carbs. That crispy breading? It's usually made from white flour, which is essentially a refined carbohydrate. When you consume refined carbs, they rapidly convert to sugar in your bloodstream, causing sharp spikes in blood glucose. Over time, these consistent spikes contribute to inflammation and can damage the delicate lining of your blood vessels, setting the stage for plaque buildup. It's like adding sandpaper to those pipes. And finally, the sodium load. Oh, the sodium. Fast food and processed fried fish are notoriously high in sodium, often used not just for flavor, but as a preservative. This excessive sodium slams your blood pressure, forcing your heart to work harder to pump blood through those stiffened, inflamed arteries. It's a vicious cycle that puts immense strain on your entire cardiovascular system. This groundbreaking study, with its clear and undeniable findings, was published in the esteemed journal Neurology. Yet, despite its profound implications for public health, especially for our aging population, it never truly got the primetime spotlight it so desperately deserved. Perhaps it wasn't sensational enough. Perhaps it challenged too many established healthy assumptions. But for those of us trying to navigate the complexities of healthy eating after 60, it's a piece of research we simply cannot afford to ignore. Meet the worst offender, fried Alaskan pollock. All right, let's pull back the curtain and reveal the star player in this dangerous game, Alaskan pollock. Ever heard of it? Of course you have, even if you don't realize it. Pollock is America's #1 white fish, a true workhorse of the seafood industry. It's the mild-tasting, flaky white fish that forms the backbone of countless quick meals. Think about it. McDonald's Filet-O-Fish? That's pollock. The fish sticks your grandkids adore? Almost certainly pollock. The mystery fish served in school cafeterias? Yep, you guessed it, pollock. It's ubiquitous, affordable, and incredibly versatile, which is precisely why it's so risky. Now let me be clear, pollock itself, when prepared properly, is a perfectly neutral fish. Baked, broiled, or steamed, it's lean, mild, and relatively harmless. But here's the rub. When it's battered and deep fried, that S when it transforms from an innocent fillet into arguably the most dangerous plate you can order after 60. Let's break down exactly what happens when pollock meets a deep fryer. A typical fried pollock fillet isn't just a piece of fish anymore, it's a sponge. It soaks up an astonishing amount of degraded fry oil. We're talking about 2 teaspoons, easily. And this isn't fresh, pristine olive oil. It's often industrially processed vegetable oil, repeatedly heated to extreme temperatures. This process creates those inflammatory oxidized fats we talked about earlier, along with trans fats, which are absolute poison for your arteries. Then there's the sodium. A single fried pollock fillet can pack a whopping 700 milligrams of sodium. That's a significant chunk of your daily recommended intake, all in one small, seemingly innocent serving. Remember what that does to your blood pressure? It sends it soaring. And let's not forget the breading. That crunchy, golden coating is usually made from refined white flour. Nutritionally speaking, it's not much better than the flour used in a glazed donut. It delivers a quick hit of refined carbohydrates that spike your blood sugar, contributing to inflammation and further damaging your blood vessels. So, if you make this a weekly habit, if you consistently invite fried pollock into your diet, You're essentially inviting microscopic inflammation to set up shop inside your blood vessels. It's a slow, silent erosion of your cardiovascular health. And if you're like most people, you'll probably slather on some ketchup or tartar sauce. Guess what? Most restaurant-style ketchups and tartars are loaded with added sugar and even more sodium, effectively doubling down on the detrimental effects. The real danger of pollock lies in its clever marketing and its mild, unassuming nature. It's cheap, it's versatile, and it's often touted as the healthy fast fish. This perception of healthiness is exactly why it's so risky for seniors. People assume it's safe, a guilt-free indulgence, when in reality, its preparation method turns it into a ticking time bomb for your arteries. It's the wolf in sheep's clothing of the seafood world, especially for those of us navigating the health challenges of later life. Why 60 is the tipping point. You might be thinking, wow, well, I've eaten fried fish my whole life and I'm fine. And you know what? You probably were. But here's why 60 isn't just another birthday. It's a physiological tipping point, especially when it comes to the impact of foods like fried pollock. Our bodies, as amazing as they are, undergo some fundamental changes as we age, and these changes make us far more vulnerable to the cumulative damage caused by unhealthy choices. Let's talk about your arteries again. They're not as spry as they used to be. As we get older, our arteries naturally lose some of their elasticity. They become stiffer, less able to expand and contract flexibly with each heartbeat. This natural stiffening alone makes them more susceptible to damage from high blood pressure and inflammation. Then there are your endothelial cells. These are the incredibly important, slick cells that line the inside of your blood vessels. Think of them as a perfectly smooth, non-stick coating that allows blood to flow freely and smoothly. But as we age, these endothelial cells thin out. They become more fragile, less effective at their job. This thinning makes them more prone to injury, creating tiny nooks and crannies where plaque can start to build up. Now, consider a single high-sodium meal. When you were 30, your body could handle it. Your kidneys would clear it relatively quickly, and your elastic arteries could absorb the temporary spike in blood pressure. But by 70, that same high-sodium meal can raise your systolic blood pressure, that top number, by a full 10 points, and it can stay elevated for hours. That's a significant stressor on already stiffening, thinning arteries. It's like constantly revving a car engine that's already showing its age. And remember those kidneys we talked about? Their filtration rate doesn't just slow down after 60, it drops by about 1% each year after 50. So by the time you're 70, your kidneys are working significantly less efficiently than they were at 50. What does this mean in practical terms? It means that the same fried fillet you might have handled with ease at 35 now stays in your system much longer. Those toxins, the oxidized fats, the excess sodium, the mercury, have more time to circulate, more time to chip away at your vessel walls, more time to cause damage. Speaking of mercury, while it naturally occurs in all fish, its accumulation is a long-term game. Our bodies aren't great at getting rid of it. Studies have shown that seniors can carry up to 4 times more mercury in their scalp hair than 20-year-olds. This isn't just an abstract statistic. It signifies a higher body burden of mercury, which can contribute to neurological and cardiovascular issues. So when you combine all these age-related factors, slower kidney clearance, fragile, stiffening vessels, and a lifetime accumulation of toxins like mercury, that seemingly harmless fried pollock isn't just a meal. It becomes the perfect storm. It's a convergence of detrimental factors that, when consumed regularly, dramatically accelerates arterial damage and significantly elevates your risk of stroke. Understanding this isn't about fear-mongering. It's about empowering you with the knowledge to make truly age-appropriate, heart-smart choices. But I thought fish was good for me? Okay, so after all that talk about fried fish being a potential cardiovascular villain, you might be feeling a bit confused, even betrayed, by your trusted seafood counter. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, I thought fish was good for me. All those health magazines, all those doctors, they always say fish. And you know what? You're absolutely right. Fish is incredibly good for you. When prepared correctly, it is one of the best foods you can put into your body for heart and brain health. This isn't about demonizing fish, it's about understanding the crucial difference between a health-promoting food and a health-detracting preparation. The key distinction, the absolute game changer, lies in how that fish makes its way to your plate. When it's baked, when it's broiled, or when it's steamed, that's when fish truly shines as a nutritional powerhouse. Those same brilliant Emory scientists who uncovered the dangers of fried fish also found something profoundly encouraging. Seniors who regularly ate broiled tuna or salmon 2 to 3 times a week managed to cut their stroke risk by a remarkable 30%. 30%? That's a massive reduction, simply by choosing a different cooking method. Why such a dramatic difference? It all comes down to those magnificent omega-3 fatty acids. These aren't just trendy buzzwords. They are essential fats that your body can't produce on its own, and they are absolutely vital for cardiovascular health. When you consume them through properly prepared fish, omega-3s work wonders. They make your platelets less sticky, which means your blood is less likely to form dangerous clots that can lead to strokes. They effectively lower your triglycerides, a type of fat in your blood that, when elevated, increases your risk of heart disease. And perhaps most miraculously, they help keep your heart rhythms stable, preventing the erratic beats that can precede a stroke. Think of it like medicine, because in many ways it is. The right dose, delivered in the right way, heals and protects. But the wrong dose or the wrong delivery method can actually harm. That's precisely what happens with fish. The method of cooking is the switch. It flips fish from a potential poison to a powerful protector. When you deep fry fish, you don't just add unhealthy fats and sodium. You can also damage the delicate omega-3s, reducing their beneficial effects. You're essentially taking a potent medicine and diluting it, or worse, turning it into something harmful. So, please don't abandon fish altogether. Just be discerning. Be smart. Understand that the inherent goodness of fish, its lean protein, its vitamins, and especially its omega-3s, can be either preserved and amplified or utterly undermined by the choices we make in the kitchen. It's a powerful lesson in how preparation truly matters, especially when your health stakes are higher. The 3 safe swap fish. All right, enough with the doom and gloom. We've identified the problem, and we've understood why it's a problem. Now let's pivot to the good stuff, the solutions. We're going to talk about 3 absolutely fantastic, delicious, and genuinely heart-healthy fish that you can confidently add to your plate after 60. These aren't obscure, hard-to-find species. They're accessible, versatile, and packed with everything your heart and brain need. Rotate these 3 and you'll hit all your nutritional targets without ever repeating yesterday's mercury load or unhealthy fat intake. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon, baked with lemon. This is often considered the gold standard of healthy fish, and for very good reason. First, let's talk about mercury. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon, particularly sockeye or pink salmon, typically has about half the mercury content of some other popular fish. This is due to their shorter lifespan and diet. So you get all the benefits with less of the worry, and the benefits are immense. Salmon is a powerhouse of omega-3s, delivering a robust 4 grams per serving. These aren't just any omega-3s. They're primarily EPA and DHA, the most bioavailable forms that directly support brain function, reduce inflammation, and, as we discussed, keep your blood flowing smoothly. But wait, there's more. Salmon is also rich in potassium, a mineral often overlooked but crucial for heart health. Potassium helps balance sodium levels in your body, which can help relax blood vessels and manage blood pressure. Baking it with a simple squeeze of lemon isn't just for flavor. The lemon's acidity can actually help break down the fish's proteins, making it even more tender and delicious, and it keeps the preparation clean and healthy. It's incredibly versatile. A quick bake in the oven, a pan sear, or even grilled. Just keep it simple to let its natural goodness shine. Pacific sardines canned in water. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Sardines, really? Yes, really. Don't let their small size or canned presentation fool you. Pacific sardines are an absolute nutritional jackpot, and they are dirt cheap, making them an incredibly accessible superfood. Here's why they're amazing. First, mercury. You can practically wave goodbye to mercury concerns with sardines, because they are so small and have such a short lifespan. They feed low on the food chain, meaning they don't accumulate significant levels of mercury like larger, longer-lived predatory fish. This makes them one of the safest fish choices available. Nutritionally, they're off the charts. A single tin of sardines can provide an incredible 1,800 milligrams of omega-3s. That's often more than a serving of salmon. But they don't stop there. Sardines are also one of the few natural food sources of vitamin D, which is crucial for bone health and immune function, especially as we age. And because you eat the bones, they're tiny and soft. You won't even notice them. You get a fantastic boost of bone-building calcium, something many seniors need more of. They're incredibly versatile. Mash them on whole grain toast, toss them into a salad, or even eat them straight from the can. Just make sure they're canned in water or olive oil, not soybean or other inflammatory oils. Farmed rainbow trout, pan-seared in olive oil. If you're still craving that mild, flaky white fish experience that pollock offers, but you want to do it safely, then rainbow trout is your go-to. It has a delicate flavor profile, similar to pollock, making it an easy swap for those who aren't keen on fishy tastes. But unlike fried pollock, farmed rainbow trout consistently gets a best choice rating from organizations like the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, for its low contaminant levels and impressive omega-3 content. This is due to sustainable farming practices that prioritize clean feed and controlled environments. So you get peace of mind along with your meal. Nutritionally, trout holds its own. It provides a good dose of omega-3s, though slightly less than salmon, along with plenty of lean protein and B vitamins. Pan-searing it in a healthy fat like olive oil is a fantastic way to prepare it. Olive oil itself is a monounsaturated fat, celebrated for its heart protective qualities, and it helps create a lovely, slightly crispy exterior without the damaging effects of deep frying. It's quick, it's easy, and it delivers a genuinely healthy, satisfying meal. By rotating these three incredible fish into your weekly menu, you're not just eating well, you're actively investing in your long-term health, protecting your brain and your heart, and enjoying delicious meals in the process. Quick kitchen tactics for busy seniors. Let's be real. Life doesn't slow down just because you've hit 60. Many of us are busier than ever, juggling grandkids, hobbies, and perhaps even part-time work. The idea of preparing elaborate, healthy meals can feel daunting. But here's the good news. Eating heart-smart fish doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. I've got some quick kitchen tactics that will make incorporating these healthy swaps into your routine a breeze, even on your busiest days. No time to cook? The foil packet salmon is your best friend. Seriously, this is a game changer for speed and minimal cleanup. Forget complicated recipes. Grab a salmon fillet. Fresh or frozen, it works beautifully. Tear off a piece of aluminum foil big enough to wrap the fish. Place the salmon in the center. Now, here's the genius part. Add some frozen vegetables directly to the foil packet. Think broccoli florets, sliced carrots, green beans, or even a mixed veggie blend. A drizzle of olive oil, a squeeze of lemon, a sprinkle of your favorite herbs, dill, parsley, or a dash of garlic powder work wonders, a pinch of salt and pepper. Seal up the foil packet tightly, creating a little steaming pouch. Pop it into a preheated oven at 400 degrees Celsius, 200 degrees Celsius, for just 12 to 15 minutes. That's it. While it bakes, you can set the table, answer an email, or just relax. When it's done, carefully open the packet, watch for steam, and you have a perfectly cooked, flavorful salmon and veggie meal with virtually no mess. It's truly a healthy fast food. Hate fishy taste? Soak those sardines in milk. Okay, I get it. Sardines are amazing, but for some, that fishy aroma or taste can be a barrier. Don't let it stop you from enjoying their incredible benefits. Here's a simple trick that professional chefs have used for ages to mellow out strong fish flavors. Milk. Simply drain your canned sardines, then place them in a small bowl and cover them with milk. Any type will do, dairy or non-dairy. Let them soak for about 10 minutes. The milk proteins bind to the compounds that cause the fishy smell, effectively neutralizing them. After 10 minutes, drain the milk. Give the sardines a quick rinse under cold water and pat them dry with a paper towel. You'll be amazed at how much milder and more palatable they become. Now you can enjoy them on crackers, in salads, or even sautéed lightly without that overpowering taste. Need crunch? Almond-crusted trout for the air fryer. One of the big draws of fried fish is that satisfying crunch, right? But we know the deep-fried version is off limits. So, how do we get that crispy joy without the fry oil? Enter the air fryer and crushed almonds. This is a brilliant way to prepare trout, or even pollock if you insist, but baked. That delivers incredible texture and adds even more healthy fats and nutrients. Instead of breadcrumbs, which are often refined carbs, lightly coat your trout fillets in crushed almonds. You can pulse whole almonds in a food processor or buy pre-crushed almond meal. For extra flavor, mix the almond meal with a little paprika, garlic powder, and dried herbs. Dip your trout fillet first in a lightly beaten egg. This acts as the binder. Then press it into the almond mixture to coat evenly. Place the coated fillets in your air fryer basket. Spritz lightly with olive oil spray, just a tiny bit for extra crispness, and air fry at 375 degree, 190 degrees for about 7 to 10 minutes, flipping halfway through, depending on the thickness of your fish. You'll end up with a beautifully golden, incredibly crispy fillet that's packed with healthy fats, protein, and zero degraded fry oil. It's the same satisfying crunch, but a world of difference for your arteries. These tactics prove that eating healthy doesn't require hours in the kitchen or a culinary degree. With a few smart tricks, you can enjoy delicious, heart-protective fish meals that fit seamlessly into your busy life. Eating out without gambling your arteries. Let's face it, we all love to eat out. It's a treat, a social occasion, and a break from cooking. But when you're trying to protect your heart and brain, eating out can feel like navigating a minefield, especially with seafood. Restaurant menus are often designed for flavor and indulgence, not necessarily for optimal cardiovascular health. However, you absolutely can enjoy meals out without gambling with your arteries. It just requires a little strategic thinking and a willingness to speak up. Always ask, is that battered or grilled? This is your golden rule when ordering fish. Don't assume. Many menu descriptions can be vague. A fish fillet could mean anything. Politely ask your server if the fish is battered and deep fried or if it's grilled, broiled, or baked. Most reputable restaurants will be happy to clarify. If the answer is battered or fried, thank them and move on to a safer option. If they offer a grilled or broiled version, you're in business. Remember, your health is worth a simple question. Request lemon wedges instead of tartar sauce. Oh, tartar sauce. It's the classic companion to fish, but it's often a hidden sodium and unhealthy fat bomb. Restaurant tartar sauces especially can be packed with mayonnaise, often made with inflammatory oils, sugar, and an astonishing amount of sodium, sometimes 400 milligrams per tablespoon. That's a lot for a condiment. Instead, ask for extra lemon wedges. Lemon provides a bright, fresh flavor that enhances the fish without any of the unhealthy extras. A squeeze of fresh lemon is a simple, elegant, and heart-smart alternative. Substitute steamed veggies for fries. This seems like an obvious one, but it's amazing how often we forget to ask. French fries, while undeniably delicious, are typically deep-fried in unhealthy oils and loaded with sodium. They're a double whammy of trans fats and refined carbs. Most restaurants offer steamed vegetables as a side option, even if they're not explicitly listed. Don't be shy. Politely ask if you can substitute a side of steamed broccoli, green beans, or asparagus for the fries. This simple swap significantly reduces your intake of unhealthy fats and sodium and boosts your vegetable consumption. A win-win for your heart. Box half the portion. Before the plate hits the table, restaurant portions have grown to gargantuan sizes, often 2 or 3 times what a healthy serving should be. It's a trick of the eye and the appetite. Before you even take your first bite, ask your server for a to-go box. When your meal arrives, immediately cut it in half or even into thirds depending on the size, and box up the remainder. This simple act of pre-portioning removes the temptation to overeat and ensures you re-consuming a reasonable amount. Plus, you get a delicious, healthy meal for tomorrow. Most chains will happily broil a plain fillet if you ask. Here's an insider secret. Many chain restaurants, even those known for their fried fish options, have the capability and willingness to broil a plain fish fillet for you. They just don't advertise it because fried sells better. A simple request like, "Could I get the cod fillet broiled with just lemon and pepper, please, instead of fried?" will often be met with a, "Yes, of course." Don't assume it's not possible. Always ask. You might be pleasantly surprised. Always order sauces on the side. This applies not just to tartar sauce, but to any sauce. Dressings, glazes, gravies, they can all hide significant amounts of sodium, sugar, and unhealthy fats. By ordering them on the side, you control how much you use, or if you use them at all. A little drizzle for flavor is fine. Drowning your healthy fish in an unhealthy sauce defeats the purpose. Eating out should be enjoyable, not a source of anxiety. By adopting these simple, assertive strategies, you can confidently navigate any restaurant menu, make smart choices, and protect your arteries without feeling deprived. Your health is your responsibility, and advocating for it even at a restaurant is a powerful act of self-care. So, has this conversation shifted your perspective a little? Are you already mentally reorganizing your grocery list, or perhaps rethinking your next fast food craving? If even one sentence in this discussion has made you pause and consider your choices, if it's already changing the way you shop or order at a restaurant, then please do me a favor. Hit that like button. Seriously, it might seem like a small gesture, but it tells the algorithm that this information is valuable, and it helps YouTube show it to another grandparent, another parent, another friend, who might still think fish sandwiches are a harmless, healthy option. And while you're at it, I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Drop your favorite heart-smart fish recipe, or even just your go-to healthy fish preparation tip, in the comments below. We're building a community here of people committed to living longer, healthier, more vibrant lives, and we all steal ideas from each other, don't we? Your brilliant, simple trick could be exactly what someone else needs to make that healthy switch. Let's share the wisdom and support each other on this journey. The one-sentence recap. Here's the absolute, non-negotiable takeaway distilled into a single, powerful sentence. Never ever eat fried Alaskan pollock after 60. Instead, swap it for baked salmon, sardines, or rainbow trout, and you can cut your stroke risk by almost half. Your future self will thank you with every single strong, steady heartbeat. Look, we can't stop the clock. We can't stop aging. It's a natural, inevitable part of life, and frankly, a privilege denied to many. But what we absolutely can do, what is entirely within our control, is to stop swallowing the one fish that has been scientifically proven to speed up that aging process, at least as far as your cardiovascular system is concerned. We have the power to make informed choices that directly impact our health trajectory. So the next time you find yourself wandering through the aisles of the grocery store, facing that wall of frozen convenience foods, I want you to remember this conversation. Walk right past the frozen fish sticks, past the breaded fillets, and head straight for the fresh seafood counter or the canned fish aisle. Grab a beautiful, vibrant, fresh salmon fillet, or reach for a sturdy tin of Pacific sardines. When you make that choice, know that you're not just buying dinner, you're buying insurance. You're investing in the longevity and vitality of your brain. You're protecting the strength and resilience of your heart. You're actively choosing more decades of independence, more moments with loved ones, more opportunities to live life to its fullest. If you found this information valuable, if it resonated with you, then please consider subscribing for more straight-talking health truths that cut through the noise and give you actionable advice. And perhaps most importantly, share this with someone you love. Share it with your parents, your siblings, your friends. Because the best time to prevent a stroke isn't when symptoms appear, or when you're in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. The best time to prevent a stroke is long before that ambulance ever leaves the station. It's now. It's with your very next meal. Make it count.